Good morning, traders. It is Monday, the 29th of September, 2025. Hope you had a great weekend and hope you had a chance to review my performance summary on Saturday. I always try to get that out before 7 a.m. so you guys can get a chance to get a look at that real quick. Take a few minutes and see if you're finding any new ideas or concepts or making a little bit of headway on understanding the point of view that I tend to focus on. So I'd love your feedback on that. If not, no worries. We're here today for today's Traders Daily Discipline. And I want to get right to work. I was following through on our thoughts from last week on computers because, we're really taking a lot of time, I think, at this point in the business of trading, in the industry of education. And I just want to remind you of a few things. Programming today is a race between software engineers striving to build bigger and better idiot proof programs and the universe trying to produce bigger and better idiots. So far, the universe is winning. And that is from Rick Cook. For those of you who aren't familiar with him, just passed away a few years ago, but he is an author, fantasy author, and computer hacker. He wrote the Wizardry books. I don't know if you've read any few of them. They're kind of a lighthearted fantasy. Uh, it's a look at the magic behind information, and of course, the illusion of computers being part of that. But I think the important issue here is for us to remember what we're dealing with. You know, uh, I can tell you a story. I had a short conversation with a hedge fund manager, and the guy was, when you go to these trade shows and industry functions, you'll meet people from all different parts of the trading community. And last couple I went to, um, I met a lot of people that were big on artificial intelligence and the development of trading algorithms and trading opportunities using artificial intelligence, um, self-learning machines, et cetera, et cetera. And I was uh, talking with this hedge fund guy, and he had several hundred million under management, which I think for a hedge fund is their goal, right? Get as much as they can under management. Most of them don't really do as well as the top 12 or 15, but in any case, he was saying how wonderful it was that his algorithm, his artificial intelligence, was now thinking a little better than the 7 year old level of a human being. In other words, the computer had taught itself to function at that level, which for the industry is considered, quite spectacular. A lot of the really big artificial intelligence that's been created by some of the bigger names like Google's Lambda and others are all at the 7, 8, 9 year old level, according to people who do those analyses. And I thought that, well, that's wonderful, except, we're in the real world here. Um, what if we took my 8 year old nephew and gave him $100 million and let's see how well he did? I think there's more to trading and more to successful speculation than just crunching numbers. And I want you, as a serious trader and student of themselves first, constantly remember this, that the computer itself is nothing more than a tool. And whatever you program that tool to do, it's going to give you the lowest common denominator for its performance. It can't do any better than that. It can't think the way you personally would like it to think. It doesn't reach intuitive conclusions. In fact, it will not reach a decision if it thinks the decision it reaches is not the right decision to make. It will then reevaluate and get stuck and take forever to reach a conclusion until it's told to reach a conclusion. Then it will produce the best one it can, knowing that it's not the best one it can, confusing itself even more. and that is, I forget what they call that loop in programming, but that is a serious problem for artificial intelligence. In any case, what I want to remind you is be careful with how you trust the use of computers to help you with your trading methodology. I would highly encourage you to take some time and get out a piece of paper and a pencil and write down what it is you're thinking these things can do for you. And I think if you really open up your mindset to understanding what it is that we need to do in order to win and the use of these tools, I think you'll find that there's a law of diminishing returns in there, and that computer based or computer required trading is not going to be the solution you think it is. In fact, I would hazard a guess that a few years from now, the trading algorithms will start producing less and less viability um, in their performance. In other words, they will second guess themselves into no performance. And I think that's because they don't know that what they're doing is guessing in the first place. And as they compare their results to what could have been gotten, and they reevaluate and reevaluate, they're going to get caught in this loop of diminishing returns. And I think you'll find that as time goes on, what everybody considers to be the greatest forward leap in structured trading is going to start falling apart. And the human being, the trader that knows what he's doing and how to produce, will reign supreme again. But will there be any of them to take the place of the computer that doesn't quite do the job anymore? So give that some thought. And we'll let Rick rest in peace for now. Maybe we'll find something else he had to say later. Guys, have a great day. And we'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's Trader's Daily Discipline. Thanks.